I've always just felt so connected and in love with the ocean.
It's the one place that I can go to in the world where everything becomes about that moment.
My dream was definitely finding out about the oceans and making a difference in life.
I found it really fascinating that there is a vast expanse of our planet that we just don't know anything about.
I don't think people quite realise how the world would be a very different place if we didn't have healthy oceans.
I feel such a great duty of care for the natural environment. We were on holiday in Egypt, and every day I'd go out and I'd just swim round and round and round, and I went home from that holiday and I made my own binder of all of the fish that you can find in the world and put information about it, and I was just obsessed. I knew that there was no more beautiful place than the ocean.
Every summer my parents would take me away on holiday to Brittany, and it was the wonder of the creatures that we found in the rock pools that made me absolutely fascinated.
I was quite afraid of the ocean as a child. It's such a wild place. And every time I was in it, I felt quite out of my depth. But my love of the ocean developed as I got older, and that fear of it turned into fascination.
I wasn't actually confident that I could be a scientist. But as soon as I started learning stuff about the seas, the ocean, it just fascinated me, and I realised that actually that passion is what makes someone good at something.
The real appreciation for the marine environment developed when I went traveling. Suddenly you start diving at the Great Barrier Reef and you just develop this incredible appreciation. And then you go to places like Southeast Asia and you're struck with an amount of pollution that you actually have never seen on the ocean.
I worked for the Society of the Protection of Turtles as a team leader and researcher. Our aim really is to minimise the threats to marine turtles. We do this by monitoring and patrolling all important nesting beaches in northern Cyprus, as well as gathering vital data to support conservation efforts. And they are incredibly important. Their foraging in coastal areas all over the globe really boosts productivity, which then enhances fishery stocks, which then feeds us.
Myself and my dad, we both wanted to do something that we were absolutely passionate about and that we would love to do. We started up Beach Guardian as a Facebook page originally, and it just went from there. We get community groups together down on the beach and trying to remove as much plastic as possible. Just the other day I found a Jeff Tracy minifigure, and it's from a Kellogg's cereal box from 1966. So to me, that is just the perfect visual representation. Plastic is here to stay and it does not go away.
I started working for the lobster hatchery as a volunteer. I then carried out my research project for my undergrad degree and then went on to blossom, I guess, in the hatchery. We're here to rear lobsters through their early vulnerable stages, where in the wild they'd be floating around and basically eaten because they're fish food. Give them a better chance of survival and then release them back into the wild when they're more able to fend for themselves. There's so little known about the European lobster that every day I'm discovering something else about who they are and what they do and the amazing creatures that they are.
My role out in Saudi Arabia is a research assistant. It feels amazing to be answering questions that could really help us change the world. It can also be quite weathering on the soul. You know, a lot of these issues that we address are really quite sad. But knowing that I'm doing work to try and fix them is a wonderful feeling, and that's all I've ever wanted from my life, is to do the best that I can with the time that I have.
I started asking myself, who is interested in what I'm doing? What does it matter? Because there are a lot of interesting questions in regards to research that are more related to the bird's ecology or the bird's behavior. But how do they actually translate into the real world? Are they important for humans? Are they important for conservation? Are they important for anything? I've been lying there in my bed at night asking myself those questions and not getting a satisfying answer. I think that was the moment where I realized that actually going into conservation is probably more where I see myself.
This year in Northern Cyprus we've had the largest number of nests laid on record for 26 years. We're really seeing the positive impact of only a relatively short duration of conservation research out there. You've really got to ask for those opportunities, you've got to grab them with both hands.
I think the proudest moment in my career is probably completing the project that we've just completed. That was set up to identify whether we could on-grow lobsters to larger sizes in a more natural environment and then release them back into the wild. It took up a lot of my personal life as well as my work life, I'm not going to lie, but that's why I do the job I do, because I'm passionate about it and I want to be involved in it 24/7. It's made me aware of how to be sustainable and the choices that you can make to really make a difference in life.
I've found crisp packets from the year that I was born, but also way back to 1972. How are these companies allowed to get away with using this unnecessary single-use packaging? I wanted to get Walker's attention, I wanted to send a message, and I wanted to get people talking about this issue. So to do this, I decided to make a dress out of Walker's crisp packets and wear it to my graduation. I had the great opportunity to go on to Sky News, and last December they launched it nationally, a recycling scheme for Walker's crisp packets and any other crisp packets. And it's just, I think it's revolutionary in the fact that one young woman can make a national change.
Fieldwork is certainly the time of the year where I feel the most like myself. The noise of the birds, I think it's the most relaxing and calming and soothing thing. I'm spending an incredible amount of time outside, which is good for your mental health, for your well-being. It's a privilege that we are having. It feels as if I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
I've suffered with mental health problems myself, and I'm now thriving more than I ever have before, and the only thing that's changed is how much time I'm spending out there in the fresh air and caring for the ocean. I've recently become an ambassador for the Thrive programme. This programme successfully improves mental well-being. I wanted to do this because just from doing a 2-minute beach clean, instantly your self-confidence, self-worth and general happiness dramatically improves. You not only know that you're doing something good for the planet, but also you're getting yourself out there.
Fieldwork is often associated with some strenuous task, hiking a lot, carrying a lot of weight. You really have to put yourself out there and you have to be like, no, I really want to do this. I can do this as well as a man can do it.
We do experience some doubts in our abilities because of our appearance or our gender. I came across a lot of criticism from male members of the community and my abilities. I'm quite a resilient person. I've been described as not tenacious but relentless. Because of all of the amazing females in marine biology that I've encountered, I just had faith in my own abilities.
The more diverse sciences, the more diverse scientists we have, the more valuable the research gets. Because if we only have one view on a topic, that's never going to solve a problem.
Sylvia Earle, she really was the woman that paved the way for women in ocean sciences. She stood up and pushed herself in an environment which was male-dominated to do the things that she wanted to do, and because of that I have now been able to pursue a career in marine biology.
Having female role models that are really at the pinnacle of their career, professors, doctors, is really important to inspire young girls to really think that actually I can get to that level and I can reach the top of that career.
I've had Jo Ruxton, the producer of A Plastic Ocean. She was completely a massive part of why I've become what I am. And now I just hope that I can be as inspiring as a woman as she was for me.
It was being contacted by a girl to say that she was leaving her office job, a stable career, to follow her passion in ocean conservation, and that she had been inspired by the work that I'd been doing. And in that moment, it was as if somebody was saying, I believe so much in what you're doing that I too want to contribute to this issue. That for me was an amazing moment.